The Hat is back in Lumo, a love letter to isometric puzzle platformer games long since past. After releasing my Solstice review, I had a few people tell me about this game in the comments. I didn't think much of it at the time, but when I went to check out gameplay, it piqued my interest almost immediately. The look and feel of the game is very familiar to that of all the games that it draws its inspiration from. Lumo brings back to life an old tired genre and adds a few new things to the mix. So after hearing about the game and actually checking it out, I decided to message the publisher, Rising Star Games, and I asked them if there was any way that I can get some sort of play/review copy of the game, because I wanted to check it out and see what it's about. And the next day they actually messaged me back and they were like, sure. They were like, here's a Steam key. And that was really awesome, so thanks for that, guys. And I decided to let you guys know, all the ups and downs about this game, because right after playing Solstice, it was actually kind of refreshing to have something else just like it that's just as good. So, here we go, guys. Without saying too much, we're going to jump right into this. The story for Lumo is pretty simple. You start the game out as an unnamed kid visiting a local arcade. Upon walking up to what looks like a ZX Spectrum, you get digitized and zapped into the computer. The kid arrives in what looks like the dungeon of a video game. Now don't be fooled by the look of this game. It's actually quite easy compared to the others in the genre. The controls are a bit tricky for those used to experiencing modern day platforming, but with 3 different control styles there is something here for everyone. Another handicap given to you is the choice of game mode. Adventure offers a ton of help along the way. Then Old School takes all of that help away. I suggest going with the easy way to enjoy the game at your own leisure. The rooms start out relatively easy, as they have you pushing around boxes, trying to cross pits without falling, and just trying to avoid flame-throwing pillars. After a few minutes we find the first agility wait, that's from Crackdown! This game has a ton of nods to other games in forms of little Easter eggs like this.
You do that thing you do.
Once we collect it, the player can now perform a jump, and that opens up exploration 100-fold. It also increases the difficulty as much, with over 14 floors that will not only challenge your reactions, but also your cognitive skills. The camera angles can also play tricks on your eyes. Thankfully, the player casts a shadow on the ground in this game, so that really helps with all the jumping. Even with all this stacked against you, it's actually enjoyable to tread through this deadly danger dungeon. The whole time playing the game, I just couldn't really help but smile. It's charming to the very core, and the music really brings together that nostalgic atmosphere. A few of the puzzles in the game are massive, having you solve other rooms in order to make progress in other parts of the game. For example, the one room is flooded. In order to lower the water, we need to take a teleporter, flick this switch to lower a bunch of gates, then we traverse through multiple rooms while firing a cannon to hit a target and open a door. Then we carefully jump from moving and vanishing platforms to cross a room. We jump across a bunch of treadmills, jump the barrels from Donkey Kong, and release this steam valve. Then the water is lowered. That still doesn't do the job though. It only brings the water down part way. One of my absolute favorite parts was the Runaway Minecart course. It was taken straight out of a Donkey Kong Country game, and I couldn't be happier. There's even a camera set up like on a roller coaster, and it takes a picture of you that you get to see at the end. The tracks lead us to what looks like an abandoned Castle Rock. here where we're introduced to the only foe that I came across, the spiders. At first you need to kind of avoid them, but after a short while of exploring, you come across a staff. This magical gem-holding branch contains power to scare them away, as well as make some platforms appear that you couldn't see before, except for this one spider right here. He's a douche, and he's even wearing the douche glasses to prove his point. That was my review / first look of Lumo. I personally enjoyed playing through the game, and there are a ton of hidden collectibles peppered in the game to keep you coming back, but I can't tell you guys whether or not to go buy it. That's up to you. Here is a review for Solstice, which was the game that was the whole reason I even decided to go look this one up, and it was also a big part of my childhood. It was one of those games where it was so frustrating, but it was still so much fun to play. And this is the review for Zen Intergalactic Ninja that was released last week. This game was the sole purpose of me starting up Konami the NES years, which is an in-depth look at all the games Konami developed on the NES. I've also recently opened up a Patreon so that you guys can help the show grow. There are a few sweet rewards that will get you guys involved in the decisions that I make, and have some of you facing off against each other in friendly competitions. All the details are in the links in the description. I'm Rewind Mike, guys, and thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.